Würzburg is a beautiful Baroque city on the River Main. Its 18th century palace is a stunning combination of French palatial design, Viennese Baroque, and Northern Italian architecture. The gardens in front of the eastern facade have been terraced. Guided tours begin on the ground floor. Art historian Susanna Streichfuss tells visitors that this hall was in fact merely a vestibule leading to the garden. But even here, no effort or expense has been spared. The living quarters and state apartments are reached via the building's famous Baroque staircase, designed by Balthasar Neumann. The vaulted ceiling bears one of the largest frescoes in the world.
The staircase was certainly impressive for visitors in the 18th century. It was unusually large by the standards of the day and would have made quite an impression.
The ceiling was painted by Giovanni Battista Tiepolo of Venice, one of the most important fresco painters of the 18th century. The work illustrates human development on 4 continents: America, Africa, Asia, and the crowning glory, Europe. There are also portraits of the artist who designed the building.
In the center of Europe, we find the architect, whom the painter considered the most important artistic figure in the project. Then the key stuccoer, Antonio Bossi, and then, slightly hidden in the left-hand corner, the painter himself.
The most prominent position, high up in the sky above Europe, is reserved for the man who commissioned the fresco, Prince Bishop Karl Philipp von Greifenklau. After 3 years of restoration, the fresco was restored in 2006 to its former glory. The huge unsupported vault miraculously survived the air raids just before the end of the Second World War. 75% of the palace was destroyed in the bombings. The original mirror cabinet, with its gold leaf detail and paintings behind glass panels, was destroyed and had to be completely renewed.
The mirror cabinet was destroyed on the 16th of March 1945. All the mirrors you see here were reconstructed. The paintings, the gold detail. It took from 1979 to 1987.
Restoration work is still underway at the palace. It's expected to take another 2 years to complete the court chapel. Damaged walls and ceiling frescoes are being painstakingly cleaned and restored.
Most of the damage was caused during the war. The palace roofs were burned down, exposing the vaulted ceilings. Water used to extinguish the fire, followed by rainwater, badly damaged the paintings.
The White Hall has also been completely renewed, exactly as created by Antonio Bossi. Most of the work has been done by hand. It's all stucco work, including the fabric-like folds. The Emperor's Hall forms the centerpiece of the palace.
The Emperor's Hall was used for banquets, catering for several hundred people at a time. And when necessary, it was also a waiting room. The northern and southern apartments were used for official audiences. Guests could then wait here before entering.
And while they waited, the guests could admire Tiepolo's frescoes depicting local history, such as the wedding of Frederick I to Beatrix in the 12th century. When the prince bishops were in power, the palace had 360 rooms. Around 40 are now open to the public. Incidentally, Napoleon, who visited Würzburg 3 times, once called the palace Europe's most magnificent vicarage.